Right now, today, in 2026, there are 5 separate government payments that Canadian seniors are entitled to receive every single month. 5 payments, fully funded, fully approved, legislated by the federal government, and sitting there waiting to be claimed. And the shocking reality is that most Canadian seniors are only receiving 2 of them. Some are only receiving one. And number 3 on this list, the one we are going to get to in just a few minutes, is a payment that hundreds of thousands of eligible Canadian seniors have never once received. Not because they do not qualify, not because the government denied them, simply because nobody ever sat them down and told them it existed. We are not talking about small amounts. Combined, these 5 payments can add up to over $2,600 per month for eligible seniors. That is over $31,000 per year from the federal government alone, before any provincial benefits, before any private savings, before any other income sources. And right now, today, there are seniors across this country receiving a fraction of that amount and quietly wondering how they are going to cover next month's bills. That changes today. We are going through all 5 payments one by one, the real confirmed numbers for 2026. Who qualifies, how much you can receive, and exactly what you need to do to make sure every single one of them is flowing into your bank account. Stay with me through all 5 because number 3 is going to change the way you see your retirement income permanently. And if you know a senior who is not receiving everything on this list, please stay until the end because I am going to give you the exact steps to help them claim what is theirs. Let us get into it. Before we go through the 5 payments, I want to make sure you understand something important about how Canada's retirement income system works, because this context is what makes the missed payments so shocking once you see the full picture. Canada's federal retirement income system was designed with multiple layers. Each layer is meant to provide a different type of support to a different group of seniors. Some payments are based on what you contributed during your working years. Some are based purely on how long you have lived in Canada. Some are based on your current income level. And some are specifically designed for the most vulnerable, the seniors with the least. When all 5 layers are working together, the system is genuinely one of the most generous senior income support structures in the world. But each layer requires something from you: an application, a tax return, a deadline, a form. And when even one of those steps is missed, an entire payment disappears, quietly, without warning, and often without anyone noticing until real financial damage has already been done. That is the system. Now let us talk about the money. Payment number 1. The Canada Pension Plan. CPP is the payment that most working Canadians know about. It is the retirement pension you earned through the contributions that came off every paycheck throughout your working life. You contributed, your employer contributed, and now in retirement, those contributions come back to you as a monthly payment for the rest of your life. For 2026, the maximum monthly CPP retirement pension for someone who begins collecting at age 65 is $1,364.60 per month. That is the ceiling, the amount payable to someone who contributed at the maximum level for substantially all of their working years. The average CPP payment being received by Canadian seniors right now is considerably lower, typically in the range of $800 to $900 per month, because most people had periods of lower income, time away from the workforce, or years of part-time work that reduced their average lifetime earnings for CPP calculation purposes. CPP increased by 2.0% effective January 1st, 2026. This is the annual cost of living adjustment. Unlike some other benefits on this list, CPP is only adjusted once per year in January. So the amount you receive in April, July, and October is the same as what you received in January. That adjustment carries through the entire calendar year. Now, here is something that shocks many seniors when they first hear it. You do not have to take CPP at 65. For every single month after age 65 that you delay starting your CPP, your payment increases permanently by 0.7%. If you wait until age 70, the maximum deferral age, your monthly CPP is 42% higher than it would have been at 65. For someone who would receive $900 per month at 65, waiting until 70 means $278 per month instead, every single month, for the rest of their life. On the other hand, taking CPP early at age 60 reduces your payment by 0.6% for every month before your 65th birthday, a maximum reduction of 36%. Starting at 60 means receiving only 64% of what you would have gotten at 65. That is a decision that deserves very careful thought and one that many Canadians make without fully understanding the long-term cost. If you are already receiving CPP, check your amount through your My Service Canada account at canada.ca and confirm that the 2026 cost of living adjustment has been applied correctly. If you have not yet started CPP and are weighing your timing, understand that there is no universally right answer. The right start date depends on your health, your other income sources, and your specific financial situation. What matters is that you make the decision with full information rather than simply defaulting to 65 because that is what everyone else seems to do. Payment number 2, Old Age Security. OAS is Canada's universal senior pension, and it is fundamentally different from CPP in one very important way. OAS is not based on whether you worked or how much you earned. It is based on how long you have lived in Canada as an adult. If you have lived in Canada for at least 40 years after the age of 18, you receive the full OAS pension. If you have lived here for fewer than 40 years, you receive a proportional amount calculated on the basis of your years of Canadian residency. For the April to June 2026 quarter, the current quarter, the confirmed maximum monthly OAS payment for seniors aged 65 to 74 is $743.44 per month. For seniors aged 75 and older, the confirmed maximum is $817.36 per month. That higher amount for seniors 75 and over reflects a permanent 10% enhancement that the federal government introduced in July 2022 specifically to provide additional support to the oldest and often most financially vulnerable seniors in Canada. If you are 75 or older and have not seen your OAS payment reflect this higher amount, contact Service Canada immediately at 1-800-277-9914. OAS payments are adjusted quarterly in January, April, July, and October based on changes in the Consumer Price Index. For the current quarter, OAS increased by 0.1%, following a 0.3% increase in the previous quarter. Over the past 12 months, OAS has increased by a cumulative 2.1%. These increases are automatic for current recipients, but if you recently enrolled or if there have been any changes to your file, confirm your payment amount through your My Service Canada account. One thing worth knowing is that OAS can also be deferred past age 65, just like CPP. For every month you delay OAS past 65, your eventual payment increases by 0.6%, up to a maximum increase of 36% if you defer all the way to age 70. A senior who defers OAS to age 70 in 2026 would receive over $1,000 per month in OAS alone, rather than $743. For seniors who are still working and have other income in their early to mid-60s, deferral can be a powerful strategy. Now we have reached payment number 3, and I need you to stop whatever you are doing and give this your complete attention, because this is the payment that changes everything. This is the one that hundreds of thousands of eligible Canadian seniors are not receiving right now, and by the end of this section, I want you to be absolutely certain whether you are one of them. Payment number 3, the Guaranteed Income Supplement. The Guaranteed Income Supplement, the GIS, is a monthly non-taxable payment added on top of your OAS specifically for seniors with lower incomes. And I want you to understand what non-taxable means in practical terms. It means this money does not appear on your tax return as income. It does not push you into a higher tax bracket. It does not affect your GIS calculation in subsequent years. It does not trigger the OAS recovery tax. It is simply clean additional money deposited into your bank account every single month with no strings attached and no tax consequence whatsoever. For the April to June 2026 quarter, the confirmed maximum monthly GIS for a single, widowed, or divorced senior is $1,086.88 per month. Let me say that again so it fully lands. $1,086.88 every month on top of your OAS, tax-free. For a single senior receiving both the maximum OAS of $743.44 and the maximum GIS of $1,086.88, the combined monthly income from just these two programs alone is $130.32 before CPP, before any provincial benefits, before any other income sources. To qualify for any GIS as a single senior, your annual income, not counting OAS itself, must be below approximately $22,056. For couples where both partners receive OAS, the combined income threshold is different and depends on whether both or only one partner receives OAS. Now, here's the question that matters most right now. Are you receiving GIS? And if you are not, do you know why? I want to tell you about a woman named Carol. She is 74 years old. She lives alone in a small apartment in Windsor, Ontario. She worked for 26 years as a school secretary and retired at 67. She receives CPP of $634 per month and OAS of $743 per month. Her total monthly income is $1,370. Every month, she carefully budgets her groceries, her medication, and her utility bills. Some months are tighter than others. She has never once complained to her children about money because she does not want to be a burden. Carol has been eligible for the Guaranteed Income Supplement since the day she turned 65. She has never applied, not because she was told she did not qualify, not because she was denied. She simply did not know it existed. Nobody told her at the Service Canada office when she enrolled for OAS. Nobody mentioned it when she first applied for CPP. It was never in any letter she received. It was simply there, waiting, invisible, for 9 years. When her son discovered this while helping her prepare her taxes last winter, they applied immediately and requested retroactive payments going back 11 months, the maximum retroactive window. Carol received a lump sum back payment of just under $12,000. And going forward, her monthly income increased from $1,190 to over $12,400. Her son called the Service Canada agent after the payment arrived and simply said, "My mother has been struggling for years and she did not have to." Carol is not rare. Carol is everywhere in Canada. And if you are receiving OAS and your annual income from sources other than OAS is below $22,056, please stop this video right now. Go to canada.ca and check your GIS eligibility. It takes 5 minutes, and the result could be over $1,000 per month added to your income permanently. There is one critical thing you must understand about GIS. It is not automatically renewed forever. Every year, your GIS entitlement is recalculated based on your previous year's income tax return. That means if you do not file your taxes, your GIS can be suspended, not reduced, suspended entirely. Your payment simply stops until Service Canada receives and processes your tax information. This happens to tens of thousands of Canadian seniors every single year. Please file your taxes every year without exception. Even if you have zero taxable income, even if you think nothing has changed, your GIS depends on it. Payment number 4, the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit. This is the newest payment on this list and one that most Canadian seniors have not yet fully understood, in part because it is still being transitioned from the old GST-HST credit system that many Canadians are familiar with. The Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit replaces the GST-HST credit as the primary federal cost of living payment for lower-income Canadians. It is a tax-free quarterly payment, meaning it arrives 4 times per year, administered by the Canada Revenue Agency. And for seniors specifically, the new benefit structure provides meaningfully more support than the old GST-HST credit did. Under the new structure, a single senior can receive up to $680 per year through this benefit, paid in quarterly installments of approximately $170. For couples, the combined benefit is higher based on household income and composition. Like the GIS, this benefit is not taxable income. It does not affect your OAS recovery tax calculation. It does not reduce your GIS. It is entirely separate and entirely additional to every other payment on this list. Eligibility for the Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit is determined automatically through your income tax return. You do not need to submit a separate application, but you absolutely must have your return filed and processed for the CRA to calculate your entitlement. If you did not file your 2025 tax return before the April 30th deadline, your first payment under this new benefit structure may be delayed or missed entirely. The first quarterly payment under the new Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit structure is expected in July 2026. That is coming up very soon. File your taxes now if you have not already done so, and make sure your direct deposit information with the CRA is current and accurate so that payment lands directly in your bank account on schedule. Payment number 5, the allowance and the allowance for the survivor. This is the most overlooked benefit in the entire Canadian federal seniors income support system, and it is specifically designed for a group of Canadians who are often the most financially vulnerable of all, those who are between 60 and 64 years old, who have not yet reached OAS eligibility, but who are in financial need right now. The allowance is a monthly benefit available to Canadians between the ages of 60 and 64, whose spouse or common law partner is currently receiving both OAS and GIS. In other words, if you are between 60 and 64, your partner is a senior receiving OAS and GIS, and your combined household income falls below certain thresholds, you may be entitled to a significant monthly payment right now, even though you are not yet 65. For the April to June 2026 quarter, the confirmed maximum monthly allowance is $1,381.90. That is nearly $1,400 per month for someone who is still years away from OAS eligibility. The combined annual income threshold to qualify for the allowance in 2026 is $41,716 for the couple together. The allowance for the survivor is a separate but related benefit specifically for Canadians between 60 and 64 who have lost their spouse or common law partner and who have a low individual income. You do not need to be partnered to receive this benefit. You need to be a widowed Canadian in that age range who meets the residency and income criteria. For the April to June 2026 quarter, the confirmed maximum monthly allowance for the survivor is $1,647.34 per month. I want to tell you about a woman named Louise. She is 62 years old. She lives in Sudbury, Ontario. Her husband passed away 2 years ago at the age of 69. Before he passed, he was receiving both OAS and GIS. Louise was working part-time, but her income was modest. After her husband died, her household income dropped dramatically. She knew she was 3 years away from OAS eligibility, and she was genuinely frightened about how she would manage. What Louise did not know, what nobody told her at the funeral home, at the bank, or at Service Canada when she called to report her husband's death, was that she was fully eligible for the allowance for the survivor, a monthly payment of over $2,400 specifically designed for widowed Canadians in exactly her situation. She discovered it 18 months after her husband passed, 18 months of financial struggle that she did not have to endure. When she applied and her retroactive payments were calculated for 11 months, Louise received over $15,000 in back payments. She said to the Service Canada agent, "Why didn't anyone tell me this existed when my husband died?" There is no good answer to that question. There never is, which is why this conversation matters. Neither the allowance nor the allowance for the survivor is considered taxable income. Both are entirely tax-free. Both require an application through Service Canada, and both are dramatically underutilized simply because most eligible Canadians have never been told they exist. If you are between 60 and 64 and either your partner receives GIS or you have lost a spouse, please contact Service Canada immediately at 1-800-277-9914 and ask specifically about the allowance programs. That one phone call could add over $1,000 per month to your household income. Now let me bring all 5 payments together so you can see the complete picture clearly. Payment 1, CPP, maximum $1,364.60 per month, based on your contribution history, adjusted annually each January. Payment 2, OAS, maximum $743.44 per month for seniors 65 to 74, maximum $817.36 for seniors 75 and older, adjusted quarterly. The 10% enhancement for seniors 75 and over is permanent and ongoing. Payment 3, GIS, maximum $1,086.88 per month for single seniors. Non-taxable, recalculated annually based on your tax return, requires annual tax filing to maintain. Payment 4, Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit, up to $680 per year paid quarterly, tax-free, determined automatically through your tax return. Payment 5, allowance or allowance for the survivor, up to $1,981.90 or $1,647.34 per month, respectively, for Canadians aged 60 to 64 who meet the eligibility criteria. Tax-free requires an application. A single senior aged 65 to 74 receiving the maximum CPP, the maximum OAS, and the maximum GIS before the groceries benefit and before any provincial support is receiving $394.92 per month from federal programs alone. For seniors 75 and older, the number is even higher. These are the maximums, and your personal amounts will differ, but they illustrate with complete clarity just how significant the full picture of these programs can be when every piece is properly in place. Here is exactly what I want you to do before this video ends. First, log into your My Service Canada account at canada.ca and confirm that you are receiving every payment you are entitled to. Check your CPP amount. Check your OAS amount. Confirm whether GIS is being paid. If you cannot log in or need help creating an account, call Service Canada directly at 1-800-27Z7-9914. Second, if you are receiving OAS and your annual income from sources other than OAS is below $22,056, apply for GIS today if you are not already receiving it. Use the benefits finder at canada.ca. It takes 5 minutes. Third, file your 2025 income tax return immediately if you have not already done so. Your GIS renewal, your Canada Groceries benefit eligibility, and multiple other income-tested benefits all depend on your filed return. Free tax filing help is available through the CVITP program at canada.ca or by calling 1-800-959-8281. Fourth, if you are between 60 and 64 and either your partner receives GIS or you have recently lost a spouse, call Service Canada today and ask specifically about the allowance or the allowance for the survivor. Do not wait. Fifth, share this video with one senior in your life today, one person. That single share could add hundreds or thousands of dollars per month to their income permanently. It costs you nothing and it could change their life. Now it is your turn. Drop a comment below right now and tell me, which of these 5 payments did you not know about before today? Are you receiving all 5 that apply to your situation? Do you have a question about whether you qualify for GIS or the allowance? Every comment on this channel is read carefully and real answers are given. Your question matters, and it helps every other senior watching alongside you who has the exact same concern but has not yet spoken up. If this information was valuable today, and I believe it genuinely was, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already done so. Turn on the notification bell. Every quarter, these payment amounts change. Every year, program rules are updated. New announcements come from Service Canada and the CRA regularly. When those changes happen, you deserve to hear about them clearly and accurately in plain language with the real confirmed numbers. That is what this channel is here for. 5 payments. Every dollar confirmed, every one of them yours. Make sure you are getting all of them.